Good morning, children. Standard ninth, Chapter 1, Economics. Understanding Development, Perspectives, Measurement, and Sustainability. Introduction. The word development is used widely. It refers to the progress of a particular field or a particular person. Development is improvement. Development is progress. Development is a way of moving forward. Development is growing process in a needed direction, etc. However, the interpretation of the concept development keeps on changing from time to time, from person to person, and its meaning gets extended further. Similarly, the economic progress of a country is known as economic development. Different perspectives about development. Now, let's understand the different perspectives about development. Every human being has an ambition or desire of his or her own to achieve progress in life. Similarly, we have ideas about how a country should progress. If our thinking turns towards progress and about the ways to achieve the many goals for progress, it leads to development. In the diagram, you will notice that other than income, people seek freedom to grow on their own. Thus, development refers to the improvement in quality of life, such as higher income, better education, better health and nutrition, less poverty, and more equal opportunity. The term economic development refers to the overall growth of all sectors of the economy by adoption of new technologies. Economic development improves the living standard of the people as well as the status of the country. Indicators of economic development. The major indicators to measure the level of economic development are Net National Product (NNP), Per Capita Income (PCI), Purchasing Power Parity (PPP), and Human Development Index (HDI). First, let us understand about Gross Domestic Product. Final money value of total goods and services produced within the geographic boundaries of a country during a specific period of time, normally in a year, is known as gross domestic product. Gross domestic product is equal to consumption plus government spending plus investment plus export minus import. Once again, gross domestic product is equal to consumption plus government spending plus investment plus net exports. Net exports is nothing but export minus import. Now, coming to gross national product, the value of all goods and services made by a country's residents and business regardless of production location normally in a year is known as gross national product. Gross national product is equal to gross domestic product plus net property income from abroad. Value of all goods and services made by a country's residents and businesses regardless of a production location normally in a year is known as gross national product, whereas gross domestic product measures the production inside of a country no matter who makes it. Now, what is net national product? The net national product is considered as true measure of national output. It is also known as national income. Countries with higher income are considered to be more developed than those with lesser income. So, income itself is considered to be one of the indicators of economic development. Net national product is equal to gross national product minus depreciation. Depreciation means decrease in value of product due to usage. However, for comparing the development of various countries, total income is not a satisfactory measure. Since countries have different populations, comparing total income will not be suggestive of what an average person is likely to earn, as people in one country are better off than others in a different country. The average income is calculated by dividing the country's total national income by its total population. The average income is also called per capita income. Calculations on the per capita income of all countries are calculated only in US dollars in order to compare international level. So, low income countries per capita income will be less than 1005 US dollars. High income countries are classified accordingly if the per capita income is greater than 12,235 US dollars. Next, we move on to the concept purchasing power parity. But before that, let's understand what is purchasing power. Purchasing power is the value of currency expressed in terms of the amount of goods or services that one unit of money can buy. Here we can see that $5 are required to buy 5 packets of chocolate. In purchasing power parity, parity means at par to be equal. Purchasing power parity simply means a way of measuring what an amount of money will buy in different countries. According to the purchasing power parity theory, a unit of any given currency should be able to buy the same quantity of goods in all countries. Purchasing power parity is an economic theory that allows the comparison of the purchasing power of various world currencies to one another. It is a theoretical exchange rate that allows you to buy the same amount of goods and services in every country. Purchasing power parity is defined as the number of units of a country's currency required to buy the same amount of goods and services in the domestic market as $1 would buy in the US. The technique of purchasing power parity allows us to estimate what exchange between two currencies is needed to express the accurate purchasing power of the two currencies in the respective countries. Human development. Human resource is necessary for the progress of any country. The term human resources refers to the collective abilities of the people which can be utilized in the production sector. Human resource development means the development of a person's physical and mental abilities through education, healthcare, and training. Therefore, investment in education and health of the people can result in a high rate of returns in the future for a country. For example, if a child is invested with good education and health, he or she may turn to be a very productive in future in the form of higher earnings and greater contribution to the society. What is HDI? Human Development Index. HDI is that which indicates all-round development of the people in the society. In the past, economists believed that the rate of economic growth of nations could be increased only by increasing investment in physical capital. But they have realized over time that investment in human capital is as important as investment in physical capital. The Ministry of Human Resource Development is responsible for the development of human resource in India. Its headquarters is situated at Shastri Bhavan in New Delhi. Sustainability of development. Sustainable economic development is taken to mean development without damaging the environment and not compromising with the needs of the future generation. The consequence of environmental degradation do not respect to national or state boundaries. Sustainability of development is comparatively a new area of knowledge in which scientists, economists, philosophers, and other social scientists are working together. Natural resources can be divided into renewable resources and non renewable resources. Renewable resources are replenishable. Example, solar energy. Groundwater is also an example of renewable resource. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable. Example, coal, petroleum. The question arises as how to sustainable development is possible if the resources are overused rather than getting replenished. Non-renewable resources get exhausted after a certain number of years of extracting and using them, and they cannot be replenished. To achieve real sustainability, we need to balance economic, social, and environmental sustainability in equal harmony. In general, the question of development or progress is continuous. At all times, as a member of the society and as individuals, we need to ask where we want to go, what we wish to become, and what our goals are. Renewable resources are replenishable resources, are pollution free and environment friendly. These resources take a short time for renewable. Example, biomass energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, hydropower energy. Solar energy is a renewable resource. Wind energy is also another one renewable resource. Water resources are renewable resource. Wood is another one renewable resource. The last one is paper. Paper is a renewable resource. Non-renewable resources are non-replenishable resources. They pollute and damage the environment. Millions of years are needed for the formation of these resources. Metals. Iron ore is a non-renewable resource because it cannot be naturally reproduced. It takes millions of years to form on Earth. Glass is made from the mineral quartz. Molten glass is used to make different glass items. Here you can see molten glass being converted into glass horseshoe piece. Also, molten glass molds are used for making bottles. Any desired shape can be got by using molten glass. Thus, glass is a non-renewable resource. Fossil fuels generate crude oil. Crude oil is extracted, and through the process of distillation, products like diesel, kerosene, petrol, and natural gas are got. Liquid petroleum or LPG, that is cooking gas, is also got from fossil fuels. Coal is a hard rock which can be burnt as a solid fossil fuel. It is mostly carbon but also contains hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and nitrogen. It is a sedimentary rock formed from peat by the pressure of rocks laid down later on the top. Coal is also used to generate electric power, but burning coal also produces particles that increase air pollution and health dangers. Burning coal emits large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Policies for sustainable development. Use of non-conventional sources of energy. India depends on thermal and hydropower plants to meet its power needs. Both these sources have an adverse environmental impact. Thermal power plants emit large quantities of carbon dioxide which pollute the environment. Solar power in India. Solar power is the conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity, either directly using photovoltaic cells or indirectly using concentrated solar power. Solar panels. Solar panels absorb the sunlight as a source of energy to generate electricity. A solar electric system can reliably produce electricity for a home and offices. These distributed solar systems are often installed by home and business owners to reduce their electricity cost. Solar power in India is a fast developing industry. Tamil Nadu is the state which highest installed solar capacity in India. Tamil Nadu is one of the leading solar power producing states in India. As on 31st July 2017, the total installed capacity in Tamil Nadu is 1697 megawatts. Environmental policies in India. Environmental policies in India have been evolved considerably over the past 3 decades. These policies have covered a wide range of issues such as air, water pollution, waste management, and biodiversity conservation. India faces challenges in economic development which has to be achieved with limited resources, minimum externalities, and in the presence of an uncertain climate. One of the approaches to overcome this challenge is through the path of sustainable development. The Supreme Court of India has interpreted and introduced new changes in environmental protection through a series of directions and judgments. Article 51A G of the Constitution states that it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forest, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. Development increases the quality of life. This means that people will have higher incomes, better education, better health and nutrition, less poverty, and more equality of opportunity. List of environmental acts in India. National Green Tribunal Act 2010, Biological Diversity Act 2002, the Environment Protection Act 1986, Forest Conservation Act 1980, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. National Green Tribunal Act 2010, Environmental Protection and Conservation of Forest and Other Natural Resources. Biological Diversity Act 2002 to provide for conservation of biological diversity. The Environment Protection Act 1986 providing for the protection and improvement of the environment. Forest Conservation Act 1980 check deforestation and encourage afforestation of non-forest areas. Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974 provides maintenance and restoration and quality of all types of surface and groundwater. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 providing protection to wild animals and birds. The growth story of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is one of the states having achieved rapid progress with a relatively short period. Despite it started from appalling levels of poverty, deprivation, and inequality. During the short period, Tamil Nadu, much to the unexpectation of many economists, initiated bold social programs such as universal midday meals in primary schools. Social infrastructure, schools, health centers, roads, public transport, water supply, electricity connections, and much more. Today, Tamil Nadu has some of the best public services among all the Indian states, and many of them are accessible to all on a non-discriminatory basis. Tamil Nadu have some of the highest per capita incomes and lowest poverty rates among all Indian states. End of 9th Standard 9, Chapter 1, Economics, Understanding Development, Perspectives, Measurement and Sustainability. Thank you.